like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I have been watching Star Trek Strange New World. Now, it's not always guaranteed in 2022 that you will be watching Star Trek when you watch a show which is entitled Star Trek : whatever, right? Not really guaranteed. I mean, Star Trek Picard was Star Trek for an episode, was nearly Star Trek for another episode, and then kind of wasn't Star Trek at all. Star Trek Discovery was Star Trek for like the first, I don't know, up until that mid-season break in season 1, and has never been Star Trek. It's drifted further and further from it. So I just assumed this will be more of the same, excruciating garbage, right? But no. This is actually Star Trek-y, right? This is actually and this is a fun episode with Star Trek-y concepts in which I enjoyed. I genuinely do. Now, I don't know how it links up with canon. It probably doesn't. I don't think Transporter Chief Kyle had some kind of weird transporter accident and went from being an Asian man to being an Irishman, right? I don't think that happened. I think these are in separate universes. You do what you want in your head canon to stitch it together. But I think it's very much in its own universe, which is fine. And for me, it feels Star Trek-y. I like the central, the A and B plot of this episode. I like this idea of getting into Vulcan culture, and they're doing it in a very cool way. I mean, like, you never really thought of Vulcans as being romantic, and this is because that's a very emotional thing. And yet you do get this romantic affection, but for me, it feels organic to being Vulcan. Maybe not for you, but listen. I can only review things in the way that I see. Like, that's what I see. This is what I think, right? So I like that up. Plus, oh my God, the woman playing T'Pring, just smoking hot. I mean, just unbelievably hot, which is worth mentioning because, you know, casting somebody from the male gaze was a thing of the past. So I'm all quite excited about that as well. So, and yeah, listen, it really can't be underestimated how insanely hot she is, because she is just insanely hot. So, you know, I'm quite glad about all this. So I've got a full recap and review for you, spoiling it totally. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch it, mate. Don't watch it. Move on. Go. I don't know where you get it in outside the US. They have it on Paramount Plus in the US. Somebody told me, but I can't remember where it is now. There's not Amazon. Is it HBO Max? I can't remember. Do not recall. But it's worth a watch. It's totally worth a watch, especially this episode, which is just light-hearted and serious and fun at all the same time. Unfortunately, you know, the episode after this, which I thought was also excellent, aired at the same time of the Orville second episode of their third season aired. And, you know, I thought we were going to be, by the time I got to episode 4 or 5, episode 4 of this, I said, okay, this is good news. We actually got real Star Trek going on. And I thought, man, we're going to get 2 real Star Trek shows running at the same time. The Orville and Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And then the Orville was really a naff episode for I don't know what to tell you. It's a bit of a shame. Anyway, but this one, this is the week before. Love it. Absolutely love this episode. What would I rate it? This gets a solid 7.5 to 8 out of 10, right? It was enjoyable, right? Very, very enjoyable. I can't endorse doing drugs, kids, but don't do drugs. But if you got super high and watch any episode of Star Trek Strange New World, it looks very purdy. And I think that's basically the rationale they had making it. And it works, right? For me, it works. Fine. So before we get into the review, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are good. YouTube likes you sharing now. I like you commenting. I like you subscribing. I like all those things. All those things are good, baby. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Sign up my Substack. If I ever don't put out content, that means I've been banned, right? So you want to know where my content goes? I got a Rumble channel. Please subscribe over there at Rumble. If you're on the Rumble, hit the Rumble button. I got an alternative YouTube channel. And also I give out a bunch of comics on there. You know, I should really try and dig out those old Star Trek comics. Oh, they're probably in copyright. But the old Star Trek comics. I love the run they did from in between, what was it, Star Trek 3 and 4, right? They did a run between Star Trek 3 and 4 in which the Enterprise, they went back to Earth on the Bird of Prey, right? And then they became Starfleet again, and they're in a new Enterprise, or I can't remember, but they had a whole bunch of adventures. And then when Star Trek 4 came out, they had to write something to make them be back on Vulcan in the Bird of Prey, and it wasn't they did a time thing. They just said, "Oh, the same set of circumstances happened over again." So that's always fun. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up my Substack, sign up my pay Substack. I can't recommend that highly enough, although I can't really recommend it either. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Fine. Let me hand over to me from last night, as I took a long time to get to this review. I nearly ended the stream before I got to the review. I'm like, look, I skipped it 3 times. It's time that I have to review this episode. Fine. Let me hand over to my younger self, and may I say, I look damn handsome. Way back then, was it 14, 15 hours ago? There you go. I found it. Because this is very traditional Star Trek, and I'm quite enjoying it. So it starts off. Listen, I'm okay with them whoring out TOS because I like TOS, and they're doing it in a way that I like. So I'm cool, right? So it starts off. You got this really cool little Star Trek logo. As I said, listen, don't do drugs, kids. But if you were super high, this is kind of cool. So I like that, right? I like the beginning bit, right? And so now we got this great opening scene, and we're on Vulcan, and it feels like Vulcan. It feels Vulcan-y Vulcan, right? It feels TOS Vulcan. It's got the right kind of soundtrack. Now I understand. There may be a gazillion billion continuity errors. Okay, this is in its own universe, and it really is. But I do like this new take on Vulcan mating habits. So it starts off. We have this Spock like dangling in the bell, and T'Pril's says you're too human. God, she's so hot. She's so crazily hot. This woman. And he says, Spock, you're human. And he has this and so obviously, you're in a dream sequence. He's like, what's going on? I'm human. And you gotta fight for my honor. Who you gotta fight? Your Vulcan side, right? So they have this big this is totally wrong, man. These are there we go. Hang on. We are in totally the wrong part. So let's try here. We'll do this. Let's try this. Okay, now it looks like it's working fine. So we got and it's actually a good Vulcan-y fight bit, right? I just worked out where how the slides are working out. Fine. So you have this good Vulcan-y fight thing. Listen, if it was a fan film, I would have a hard on for this. It's freaking awesome, right? Absolutely awesome. And it feels still kind of, while reverential, feels kind of fresh and new, right? And I get he doesn't look like Leonard Nimoy, right? Well, we just got why JJ gets fully out of HBO. There goes Kurtzman's funding. That'd be so typical, right? As a just finally just give some good Star Trek, right? So anyway, you have this great fighter, but he wakes up. He's having. And I do like this kind of inner angst that they're showing, and he's not being overly emotional, and I do quite like it, right? So they're by this space station thing for repairs, and they're all taking shore leave down there. I love this design work, right? It feels modern, and it feels traditional at the same time. So he's having some time with T'Pril. T'Pril. She's there, see him, and they're like happy to spend time with each other. And I do like, again, this approach to sexuality of Vulcans. It seems organic to me, right? It doesn't seem like jarring, right? But yeah, they do. They spend time together because they haven't seen each other, and they have the unemotional but clearly emotional at the same time. I like it. So he's got to go for this meeting, and then they're going to be back, and they'll spend time together. So they put up these great new stakes, and I love his green top, the homage to the Kirk green top. Wait a second. There you go. I love his green top. So you got this species that has a subspace corridor or something, and they're taking negotiations with the Romulans and the Klingons and the Federation, and they had one meeting with the Tellarites that just went like not well. Again, loving the green top, right? They had this giant like screaming match at each other with the Tellarites, right? And Uhura's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing there either. But okay, she's there because it's got maybe great communication. So then in they come straight away, and they say, "Oh, Captain, we will talk to." I said, "Hi," and they're really friendly, right? He's super friendly, and they say, "Carl, let's negotiate right now." And he's like, "Wait, I got to get back to Pro. I'm going to get my ass kicked, right? This is not good, right? This is not good." They said, "No, we're supposed to meet later." No, let's meet now, like friends, right? And they have this really nice little chat. Meanwhile, always happy to see a bit of Nurse Chapel. Super hot. The Latinx lesbian with the head side of her shape, just useless. Really, just a useless character. Get rid of her. I'm sorry. I love the Doctor though. Freaking love the Doctor. I mean, his character. I mean, yeah, I think he does have a character. Like he's a Doctor. You know what I like about him? You kind of get that feeling that you will kind of trust him medically, right? And I do love the costume, how it's like original series and all. Anyway, so they're about to beam down for shore leave, and whatever, and Noonien Singh and Number One are there, and they're saying, "Oh, you're staying here." I said, "Oh, yeah, that's why you have that nickname." And they're like, "Don't say the nickname. Oh, don't say it." And she's so hot. Don't say the nickname. She's like, "What nickname?" Oh, and they say it's where fun goes to die. Where fun goes to die is Number One, and she is not enamored by this at all, right? Not enamored at all. And they beam down, and God, she's such an annoying character, right? She's one of the only things that is really useless about this show, right? So then Spock goes to meet the Pro. She is pissed, right? She's in trouble, and he feels very bad. Which again, I understand a bit emotional, but I like this thing. So she storms out, said, "I took the time to come in. You couldn't take the time to meet me." And they had all this stuff ready. He's like, up. Okay. So then we get the titles. Gorgeous. And I would just say, kids, don't do drugs. But if you do, if you smoke a lot of weed and watch this, you may enjoy yourself. Okay, that might happen. Oh, look at that. It's so good. Okay, it's so good. And then, you got the more. The only problem with the titles is the music is so bland. It's like on a generic voiceover or like a generic Star Trek style music, right? But looks pretty. I mean, it really does. It looks so nice. So anyway, so then there you see like this biodome they're in. Oh no, that's not that. That was just all the titles. So then they're at a bar. Oh yeah, she was. So I had this thing that I found quite annoying, right? That she was like, they intimated that she was bi, and I don't know. I think the masturbating fantasy of her doing a three-way could offset the irritation that causes, but only just. So, but she was saying, I don't want to be tied down to anybody. Don't have stronger, and that's why she likes Ensign Beefcake over here. And he's like, and it's just pure sex and fun. That's all it is. And he's like, well, I'd like to talk about where this is going. And she's like, oh, fuck off, leave me alone. And he says, I gotta go, bye. Meanwhile, they talk about not being fun. We're not fun, but it's okay. We're not fun. Then they hear something going. There's an intruder alert from the airlock, and they go and check it out. And it's a couple of ensigns go, "Oh, okay, cool, help!" So yeah, she sees Spock across the room. She goes to talk to him and says, "Spock." He says, "I don't know what to do. I screwed up." And she's like, "Hits him across the head. The idiot! Yeah, you didn't have a choice, but she's still, you gotta make it up to her, right? You gotta let her know that she's important, that she's the most important thing to you." So they do this Vulcan ceremony where they're supposed to see each other, be inside each other's minds, right? Again, this feels organic to being Vulcan to me, right? It just feels like it works. So they do the ceremony, Vulcany, and then all the lights go off, and they swap bodies, and it's Freaky Friday, And she's in Spock's body and he's in hers, and it was like, oh, well, this is weird. And they're like, well, we got to try and find a way of switching back, right? Meanwhile, the Captain Admiral April, again, proving we're in a different universe, says that they want to meet with Spock now, right? Meanwhile, they're trying to swap back and they can't. They're trapped there. And again, these scenes are really delightful. There's a real nice little light comic timing with these, which and it's subtle, right? It's maybe I'm just happy to be enjoying it. But that's basically it. So they look over and it says, well, we have to, just pretend to be me, right? And Pike says, they really got, I'm sorry about this. It's like, we're in the middle of something, Captain. He said, I'm sorry about this, but they want to meet with you again, and everything depends on it. And Tyrell's like, you should go, right? First and then they come clean. We should tell him, and they're trying to find a way of swapping back. And he says, listen, you should go. Just talk to them, you'll be fine. So they interrogate these two ensigns. Good cop, bad cop. And it's like, an Enterprise tradition where they do all these different things to be as like they're on the Enterprise, as the, what's the word? Like they self-haze, right? Meanwhile, T'Pring gets the call from, I don't know how you would describe this woman, but she gets a call saying this Vulcan criminal she's after is on the planet below or something. She has to go, he'll turn himself in, but only to Prill, and she's like, well, I guess so. So they go through this list of things they need to do. One is that be teleported chewing gum, and it either loses flavor or gets its flavor back or something. I can't tell. They have a competition to see who gets to the elevator to do first by grabbing first, and they stun each other. And they just want to have a bit of fun, which is kind of nice, right? For me, this feels like character development, and I do like this whole like design aesthetic of like the biodome when it measures into the real footage, right? And so this feels organic, right? Again, Lieutenant Lesbian is a bit annoying. And then T'Pring shows up and she's like, I got to talk to you privately. He's like, oh, crap, what happened? And so she says, oh, my God, you're Spock, right? So they got to go and catch this guy and said, yeah, just come with me. So they're going, again, it's a silly little episode, which is fun. So they have this conversation with Spock, or T'Pring in Spock's body, and it's super logical, right? Very logically based, right? And they're saying, well, they're like, why do you serve here? Your culture's going to be washed away. Aren't you a traitor to your people? So at some point, Pike interjects, and he says, and she's doing really well. Interjects and defends Spock. Say, look, this guy's he's the exemplary of everything that's good about the Federation, right? He's retained his unique culture and joined a wider, a wider group of unique cultures, right? I just couldn't let my my officer be talked to that way. I apologize, right? And it's a really good little speech, right? And the good thing is, T'Pring thought, here's how great Spock is, and even though he knows it's T'Pring, it's just good writing, I'm sorry. This is engaging me. This is a story. This is character development. This is growth. These are characters. These are people I care about now, right? This is good stuff. And so they're very impressed. He speaks up, right? And they go. Meanwhile, people are having shore leave, and they go and meet this guy who's a douchebag. So, I'm a huge douche. And they said, oh, you're marrying a half-breed Vulcan, blah, Spock, you're disgusting, blah. And they have a whole thing, and she just texts him. Oh, he just texts him. And he said, well, I guess we can take him in now. Okay. So, yeah, that's the craft of these aliens. And if they fly your flag, they decide, as a sign of honor, that means they're going to work with you. Meanwhile, they worked out where getting Spock and T'Pring to disconnect from each other. They put these like, again, very Star Trek-y, right? They have these like work slugs they put on, and they use cortical stimulators, and it's unbelievably painful. And then they switch back, and again, really pleasant episode of Star Trek. And Nurse Chapel is super hot, right? It's super. Not many women can carry out a skin tight white outfit. Nurse Chapel can. God bless her. God bless her and all who sail within her. May I be one of those people. So this is, again, a nice little character moment where they've seen each other from each other's eyes, and they're able to discuss their fears. Like, he's like, I'm worried I'm not Vulcan enough for you, and she just gives him positive reinforcement. It's nice. It's a nice little character moment, right? And then they end up in bed, which she remains insanely hot. By the way, I love the Enterprise in the background. Isn't that freaking beautiful? Just nonchalantly in the background. It's lovely. Oh, it's so good. So he meets with the alien one last time and said, listen, I want to know your concerns are completely valid. I understand. Who can you trust? Again, basically he validates them. He reflects back to them themselves. Right, and this is a good little Star Trek, and they really like this. So this is a good little Star Trek idea. He says, "Listen, I noticed with the Tellarites, they were very aggressive. With me, they were very human. With Spock, they were very logical. I think they want somebody who understands their point of view, what can relate to their point of view. Again, I think this is a nice Star Trek-y moment, right? And then they go and they fly the Federation back, and it looks fucking gorgeous. Look at that." God's sake, God, it looks just so pretty. So they made a little false feel, because the final thing to do the ensign's self-hazing is to sign the deck of the Enterprise. And again, I just like this. This seems to work. Una Chin Riley, number one. Okay, I don't know where that name came from, but then the ship flies over and looks gorgeous. The episode's gorgeous, and oh my God, T'Pring is freaking gorgeous. She's insanely gorgeous, and it's, again, a nice episode of Star Trek, of genuine Star Trek, even with the irritating Latinx lesbian with the head safe. It's really the only problem I have with this. Scott is not Jonathan Krause. He can't just throw his catra across the room and possess it. Again, it's a silly bit of fun. He's not throwing across the room. It felt Vulcan-y, okay? It's a silly bit of fun. It was designed for the character, the characters to become close with each other, which I appreciate. And honestly, I think it worked, right? I think it worked. Yeah, listen. Star Trek, it's not, this is a different universe, right? Have you noticed that Robert April's white, that a transporter chief is now a little Asian man? You know, the Enterprise is clearly not the one from 15 years in the future, right? This is not the same universe, right? This is not the same universe at all. But Mark the Vicar says, and they shit on their heads. I don't know what that means, but, you know, if that makes it feel better, that makes you feel better. In fact, you know, there used to be one of the idolatries was one of those powerful ones called Baal. And the way that you would worship Baal was by taking a shit on it or next to it, in front of it. It would very much like that. Listen, we Star Trek fans have been used to being the prophets of Baal and having Kurtzman take a shit on us. We got a good one. I want to tell you. I quite like it. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.